Yo, what's going on, guys? Simon from Nightrun here. Today we're gonna be doing the oil pan gasket on my 240, and we're also gonna be doing the valve cover gasket. So, cut the valve cover off. And
oil pan is on the.
So, I'm gonna give you about 10 seconds to get up and get out of bed. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9.
You motherfucker. I thought I was having a dream. Fucking asshole.
How you doing? Ready to get after it. You can go ahead.
Fuck this guy, man.
let's go.
What the fuck?
Alive.
She's really out here.
So, guys, after we got the car running in the last video, what happened was it was leaking hella oil. So, we're gonna redo the oil pan gasket, and I bought a new valve cover gasket, so we're gonna put that on as well. Before you can start on anything, you gotta make sure there's clearance for the engine to come up. On my car, since somebody installed this turbo kit on it, this O2 sensor's right here. That O2 sensor is definitely going to get in the way. If you guys can see that, it goes straight into the bottom of the brake master cylinder. So what I'm gonna have to do is I'm gonna have to pull that O2 sensor. This O2 sensor came out with a 22 mil.
I wonder how it senses shit. Looking like that.
Alright, guys, now that that's out, I don't see anything else that might block it from getting clearance and backing up, so now I'm gonna drain the oil.
Do you want the glove, or do you want me to unscrew it?
I really don't even give a shit.
Hey, the goal of the day, do not get oil on your finger.
You see that shit? Wow. Not a speck of oil on this hand, motherfuckers.
That's how you know.
Not a speck of oil.
Alright, guys, so while the oil's draining, we're gonna unbolt the engine mounts. So if you guys look back here, you can see there's the engine mount bracket, there's the mount. All we do is take out this 14 mil right here on both sides of the engine. Alright, guys, so the bolt is now off on the passenger side, so now time to do the driver's side. Right there, that is the second bolt to the engine mount.
Keep in mind, I'm literally just going like that. There's no gap to. So if I take long and you say I'm a bad mechanic, fuck you.
There's no gap to. God damn, you are a bad mechanic.
Andres over here got the second bolt. This shit looks like it's just about done draining.
So Andy and I are down here underneath the car. If you look around the oil pan, there's a bunch of 10 mil bolts. So all you're gonna do is take a 10 mil extension, right here. Just take those off all the way around
the 3/8
the oil pan. All right, guys. So we got all these bolts out, and the only one left is up in here,
right there,
above the power steering rail.
We do have to jack up the engine by probably right here on the transmission.
Yeah, we're gonna jack it up right here on the
bell housing. That's gonna let us get our last bolt. So. All right, let's jack this shit.
So we got the jack into the car. We're about to put it up on the bell housing now. Okay, well the motor went up like 2 inches.
Alright, guys, so all the bolts to the oil pan are loose, but now I gotta take off the pickup tube in order to get it off.
So right there's a 10 millimeter bolt, and that holds the brackets to the oil pickup tube. On the other side of the oil pan, that's the oil pickup tube. There's 2 more 10 millimeters right there. There's another view of the oil pickup tube. I got one of the bolts out, and those are 12 mil, by the way. Not 10. Those two are 12.
Alright, guys, I took the oil pickup tube out, and now should be good to pull. Boom.
Bitch is out.
Boom. Hopefully there's no metal shavings in this hull.
The oil pan's out. Up there you can see the bottom of the motor. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna take out this gasket. I'm gonna scrape it with a razor, degrease it, clean out the inside of the oil pan. I'm gonna scrape the bottom of the block with the razor as well. Make sure I get off every shit that's around there, so I have a perfect seal. You guys are gonna want to make sure you inspect the oil, make sure there's no metal shavings in the oil, and check out your oil pickup tube. Make sure there's nothing in there, it's not clogged, and it's in good shape.
Yeah. I don't think that.
So guys, to take off the valve cover, it's just the bolts that go around it. It's pretty simple. You guys can figure that shit out. Pretty sure there's 8 bolts that go around it. They're all 10 mil. Pretty easy, so I'm gonna take that off right now. Got the valve cover off, and honestly, this head looks really good. Especially this, like that sprocket's brand new, bro.
Look at that chain too, that timing chain.
That looks
look at the springs and the valves.
Everything looks like it's in like good ass condition, huh? My tensioner's still in one piece. That's good. You guys can see this. Everything looks like mint in here.
Oil pan has been degreased. I started sanding off the valve cover because I want to repaint this before I put it on the car.
Sanding the valve cover still.
I want to get this repainted, but I don't want it to look like that underneath my paint. You'll see every one of those marks if you guys don't sand your shit. So make sure you sand it before you paint something. No point in putting all the work in if you don't have it looking good on it. So we're done sanding this. I hit it with a little bit of degreaser. I'm just gonna wipe it off. And after that, primer time.
Alright, wait. Alright, we're out here outside doing the first coat of primer. So here we go. Here goes coat number 1. Under the car, tightening up the oil pickup tube here, and I got it on there, so now all I have to do is torque it to spec. Alright guys, so oil pickup tube is not torqued on, so what I'm gonna do, got red RTV gasket maker, high temp Permatex. All I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna trace a bead along the oil pan here, and then after that, it's gonna go back up underneath the car. Can you hold it really quick? Just hold it up so I can get this first bolt in. Come closer to the front. And, oh, that bolt's in. Alright guys, so oil pan is on there, not torqued down yet, but Damien's just finishing up the last few bolts on his side, and then once those are on, we'll get to torquing it. So the RTV is dry now, the oil pan's ready to be torqued, but aside from that, look at that. So that's ready to go on the car. We got a new gasket right there, new bolts for the valve cover too. I cleaned up the spots where the caps go for the valve cover gasket, front and back with the razor. That's good to go. So now that I'm down here, I gotta torque all the oil pan bolts to 6.3 foot-pounds or 75 inch-pounds. Alright guys, C-clamp got this thing back on the mount on this side. It was off, so it's good now though. I've got the engine mount bolts just hand tight on both sides. Again guys, the engine mount bolts are 14mm. Alright guys, that shit's pretty fucking tight. So now we're onto the valve cover. So guys, like I said before, I do have a new valve cover gasket. Watched a couple tutorials online and everyone was saying that you're supposed to install these dry, even though this had silicone on it, so I'm gonna be following what everyone else says and installing these dry. Hopefully it doesn't leak. Both these things look basically the same, so I'm just gonna take one, put it right in there and try to get it fairly even. It likes to slip around, huh? Alright, well I mean that's where it goes, so. And the rear one went right in place. There's actually a groove back there that it fits right into, because it doesn't actually sit flush with the rear of the engine. The front looks good. The one in the back is looking good as well. Anyways guys, now that the end caps are on, I'm gonna take the old gasket off the old valve cover. Here's the valve cover. Still have the old one on the bottom there, so I'm just gonna peel it off really quick. Alright guys, cool. And just like that, got a new gasket on our valve cover. Alright guys, end caps are in and new gasket's on the valve cover, so I'm just gonna put it on now. Here, I bought new bolts for my valve cover because I was missing a bunch of the old ones, so I'm just gonna put those in. These are all 10mm, and I'm gonna torque them down after they're in there. Alright guys, so the oil pan's been all sealed up, and the new valve cover gasket's on with the freshly painted valve cover. Looks amazing, looks like the sauce. Honestly, it was pretty easy to install. I think any of you guys could do this at home. I want to thank you guys so much for watching this video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and stay tuned.